Good morning, good morning, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to TD PHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. We are live on this beautiful Wednesday morning, June the 24th, 2020. It is 7:12 a.m. Yes, please forgive me. I was not prompt this morning. Had to do a whole bunch of reconnecting. I forgot, but when I went to sleep late last night, that I didn't reconnect all my equipment in my TD PHINSTALK office, my little cave. So I had to do all the reconnecting and stuff like that because I had a real talk panel last night. And then shout out to all those who were involved in the conversation last night on my other platform, TD's Real Talk. Great conversation. I see Larry here. What's up, Larry? What's up, Mace? Man, some of you guys are up early with me and knowing. See, I didn't go to sleep until like 2:30 last night. I know we got off the stream probably at 1 something. I don't even remember. We got off the stream last night pretty late. But we're here this morning. Rise and shine, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to you all. I hope you all have a blessed day. What's good? Shout out to Vic being the first one in the building this morning. At least that's what I'm seeing. Yeah, Vic, the first one. Shout out to the mod squad. Mace Taggart in the house. Larry, Josh Hart, Michael Simmons. What's up, Mike? What's going on, homie? Larry said, "What's up? Slept very little." We both did, man. But hey, got to keep grinding. Got to keep on moving forward. Got to keep on doing what we do. Slam 1376 said, "Good morning, TD, and all the Fin fam out there." Thank you, Slam. Same to you. Mace said, "Good morning, fam," and fins up to Larry. Woo! What's up, everybody? What's up, man? So now it looks like the media wants to talk about why the Dolphins might actually win the AFC East. They want to talk about why the Dolphins actually have a shot to own the AFC East. Over the last 2 days, that's all we've gotten. We've gotten a lot of stuff about why the Dolphins could actually win the AFC East. Also, everybody else want to start talking about it now. It's not just a me thing. So I want to talk to all of you all, and I want to ask you all, y'all keep it real with me. Do y'all really think that the Miami Dolphins could win the AFC East this year? Like literally, do you really believe that? Let me know in the comment section, guys. Shout out to May says at TD PHINSTALK. TD, good morning, big dog. And fins up. Same to you, homie. Thank you. I want to know from you guys, can we actually win the AFC East? Keep it real. You ain't got to be a homer. Just straight up. Always possible. Yes. Good morning, TD and Fins family. I've been saying this for quite some time. And Josh Hart said, our coaching can help us win it. I think the culture we're building is great and competitive, unlike the past. Slam 1376 said, we definitely got it. See, I don't know what it is. I mean, I think I know what it is, but I truly do believe that we can own it this year. And I'm not just talking about 8-8, 9-7. Like, I could see us winning 11 games, y'all. Plus, I could see it happening. Like, I don't understand why people automatically write us off when we talk about Dolphins versus Seattle, Dolphins versus San Francisco. You know, why do people just automatically write us off? I think we play the Chiefs. Y'all let me know if I'm wrong. But Dolphins versus the Chiefs, if that's the case. I need to go look that up. But why do people automatically write us off? It's like a given for some people. Yeah, but we're not going to win those games. Like, gosh, like, why do you automatically write us off? Shotgun _shotgun 305 said, you're damn right we can win the AFC East. Gase is New York's worst enemy. Patriots lost too many key players. And with the new addition of our secondary, can be neutralized we can neutralize Buffalo. Why not, man? I truly do believe it. I believe that we truly can. And I'm not fearing these other teams this year. I'm not scared of Seattle. I'm not scared of the 49ers. I'm not scared of these teams, man. Shout out to Raymer Pina, said, TD, I have summer school, so I wake up early because your stream as background noise is the only thing that helps me focus. Hey, that's what's up, man. Shout out to you, Raymer. Do your thing, though, man. Make that summer school count. All right? Yes, and please hit the like button, guys, on your way in. Press the like button and share the videos. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Man, pre-my morning, my brother, it fins up. Yes. Listen, we got 34 people in the building, only 15 likes. We already got our one dislike, so that one person set their alarm clock to make sure they get up and hit the dislike every single morning, and I love them for it, man. I really do. Just more validation that we're doing something right. I have a lot of friends from all different teams, and they have no respect for Miami. Yeah, but do we deserve respect? Does the Miami Dolphins deserve respect? Does our team deserve respect? The reality is we can't get mad if other people have no respect for us because we don't deserve respect. Especially after the Adam Gase and Matt Burke era, we don't deserve respect. We don't. That's just the truth, and that ain't me dogging my own team. But we don't deserve respect. Respect is something that has to be earned. Now, regular mutual respect, of course, that's a given. But the respect we want has to be earned, and this is the year we earn it. This is the year we go and we take it. This is the year they have no choice but to give it to us because it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. Somebody said, not yet. It is the truth. Yes, finally. TD, we still the only undefeated team. Yeah, I get that. But what they got to do with respect? Well, what we did almost 50 years ago has nothing to do with the respect that we deserve today. Nothing to do with it. Yes, all the members of the 72 Dolphins deserve respect. Don Shula deserves respect. Rest in peace. Those guys deserve respect, but what does the current Miami Dolphins deserve? Who cares? That's just the reality of it, okay? The Bills lost a 9-sack player coming from the D tackle spot. That is a big loss for any team. And now we about to run the ball up their throat. Okay, but the hate should end. We turned the corner. When did we turn the corner? Because we won 5 games last year with nobody. That's turning the corner. We haven't turned the corner. We got to go out on the field and prove that we've turned the corner. We're fresh off of a 5-11 season. Nobody care about that. Nobody thinks that's turning the corner. Nobody cares. Vic said Matt Burke gets up early to hit the like button. He don't hit the like button. The dislike button. Oh, Gase woke up. We got the second dislike. Gase is up, y'all. That's what's up. We always know we got him when Matt Burke and Gase is in here. What's up, fellas? I hope you're doing better in life now. Gase, you just keep doing what you do because we need to beat the Jets twice. But Matt Burke, I hope you're doing better in life. It's hilarious, man. You know it, Vic. We earned some of the respect last year getting the wins we got with that roster. Yeah, but it still ain't nothing. It's 5 wins. Nobody really cares, man. And yeah, I'm going to diminish those 5 wins. Who cares? Who told us a little something about Flores, but outside of that, Still the Miami Dolphins, 5 wins. Still the Miami Dolphins. We got to come take every bit of our respect, guys. Mabru said, we corrected the culture. Players are buying in. We have not had that in decades. I agree. But none of it matters if W's aren't racking up. If there's no playoff appearance. None of that matters. You got to make the playoffs. We have to do it this year, y'all. Period. We got to do it this year. Jeff said, how many playoff appearances we had in the last 10 years? It says everything. Exactly. We will earn our respect in the league this year. I agree with the assessment. Our defense will stand out first and offense will follow after. I'm with that. That's how I feel. At TD FinStalk, TD, they get respect because they won in Foxborough when they needed home field advantage, big dog. Yeah, but listen, those are one-offs, though. Those are one-offs. That's not a culmination of earning respect. You know, teams that see, look. There are teams that don't care about that. Let me tell you why it was so irrelevant, right? I mean, it wasn't irrelevant. It was a big thing, but the Patriots end up exiting in the first round anyway. A lot of them teams never had to worry about them. The team that benefited from us beating them was the Baltimore Ravens. Lost in their first game as well. Right away. They don't care, man. That was just a moment of yay! That's all it was. Now, if we were the ones getting in the playoffs from that win, then it's respect. But we weren't. We weren't. The other dislike comes from Joe Philbin. Do we got 3? Yeah, we got 3 dislikes. I love it, man. Joe Philbin in the building. Oh my God. Or maybe Nick Saban. Nick Saban might arrive soon. Nick Saban might arrive soon, man. Nick Saban might be a 4th dislike, man. It's hilarious, man. TD, how many wins will it take to earn respect, or will it take playoffs? Playoffs, period. You got to come not steal, but you got to come take the division this year. You got to come take the division. We got to stop giving our team these passive goals, these little weak goals. 8-8, would be a success. Stop giving them weak goals. It's just because let me tell you something. This is how I feel. I'm not knocking anybody's 8-8 prediction, but I feel like that's also being a victim of our past. You're trying to prepare yourself for failure, but to be happy with the 8-8. Because if we go 8-8, some people really deep down inside are going to be like, but they're going to express out to everybody else. They're going to say, well, I mean, it was 8-8. That was improvement. We're headed in the right direction. We're headed in the right direction. And now all of a sudden, 2021's offseason is supposed to get us to 11 plus wins with our offseason. Man. No. Own it now. This is why I hope they're preparing Tua Tagovailoa. Truth is, guys, we need that new spark. I'm at that point now that we need that new spark. We need that new, fresh spark that a lot of these teams got. Think about it. Houston was like, okay, they're competing every year, but Watson gave them a spark. Seattle, who cared about them? Russell Wilson gave them a spark. We need one of those fresh sparks. Some of the miraculous plays. The stuff that we miss. Elder Bruce Jones said, long overdue, TD. I know. Way long overdue. We need it, man. I hope Mr. Tagovailoa starts. He comes and he throwing that ball all over the field and balling out, like making Devontae and Preston and Merritt and Jennings and Wilson, just everybody eating. Oh my gosh, just everybody eating. Spread offense, halfback drawing the heck out of people, getting yards. Just everybody eating. Imagine that, man. Us putting up 30 plus a game. And defense just smothering you. Defense giving you no life. Just imagine putting up 30 plus a game and defense giving it to you. Man, that's what that's what I want so bad. That's what I want so bad. Imagine us getting to watch great quality football. Week 1 versus the Patriots. Stidham struggles. We pick them off 2 times. We sack fumble once in that game. The defense just brutalizing them. We get into the quarterback, 6 sacks in that game. And the offense putting up points. Running the ball, throwing the ball. Man. Why not? Why not? I believe it's going to take a few seasons of winning seasons before we get respect, because everyone's going to say we did it after Brady leaves the division. Not in the Slam 1376 just this year. Not a few. Who cares about it? We did it because Brady hit, because that's going to be the norm going forward. An AFC East without Brady. And you know what? We make the playoffs, we're going to get respect because we're going to finally get a playoff first round victory. When the last time we won a playoff game in the first round, y'all? When is the last time we won a playoff game in the first round? That's all you need to restore the respect in Miami. Make the playoffs, get that first W, no matter what happened after that. Respect. Respect is back. Been almost 20 years since we won a playoff game. No fan base should have to go through that. No fan base should have to go through that. Almost 20 years since we won a playoff game. Man. TD Fans Talk. TD, Josh Rosen, 37 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 4,447 yards, 98.7 passer rating, equals division title bag, dog. Oh, man. We'll see. We'll see, man. Oh, and on that passer rating thing, once again, I searched high and I searched low, and I had people even send me articles, and then I would write back, where is it in this article? And they would be like, oh, I don't see it either. I don't see it. I searched ESPN like I was told. I got their definition, and the only thing they say is there's 10,000 parameters in their formula, and they don't discuss, they have yet to discuss all the parameters or release them. And a lot of things get a lot of scrutiny. I mean, when I did the research on passer rating, especially true passer rating and all that stuff, I don't care about it anymore. It's a stat that I won't ever use ever in my life again. I'll never throw that out to anybody, and anybody ever throw it to me, I'll ignore it. Factoring in what the velocity of the ball was, how long it was in the air, and all kind of stuff like that. Just ridiculous. But for the record, there is nothing out there telling you that passer rating deals with catchable versus non-catchable balls. Everybody that was messaging me yesterday, and I was messaging back, please send me something, because I just did my research. I looked on ESPN. I looked at PFF. I looked at Wikipedia, who explains it all, and not anywhere in there does it say catchable versus non-catchable. And then people send me articles. It should be in here, TD. I search. Can you tell me where in here? Because I don't see it. They go back and look at it. Oh, well, I don't see it either. Well, I tried to help. Never mind. Nowhere did I find anything in regards to catchable versus non-catchable at all. But what I did find is a whole bunch of malarkey. Just ridiculous. You should see the things that they had. Some of them where Aaron Rodgers went like 30 for 39 with 400 and something yards, 2 touchdowns and no interceptions. And he had a lower passer rating than Tim Tebow, who went 4 for 10 and 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. He had a lower passer rating than Tim Tebow. Literally. The man went like 30 for 39, 400 and something yards, 2 touchdowns and no interceptions. And Tim Tebow had a higher passer rating, going 4 for 10, 1 touchdown, and 2 picks. How they come up with that? It's a bunch of crap. So don't throw passer rating out at me. Please, never. Please, never. Never. QBR, listen, if it ain't the regular one, don't give me the one with all the advanced stats and all of that stuff up in it. Because it's crap. Level of difficulty. If the quarterback is under pressure and he throws the ball 7 yards, he gets this value. But if he's under pressure and he throws the ball 30 yards, he gets a greater value. Any scores that happen in the last 5 minutes don't get as great of a value because it's considered trash time, even if the score is close. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's ridiculous. Anyway, where did you see those stats? They had examples all on Wikipedia and stuff of here's where the controversy. They even have an article on there about where the controversy, why many critics criticize the rating. They criticize it and then they give you examples. This guy had a higher passer rating than this guy, and look at the stats. How is that possible? They have all kinds of examples in there. So go check it out. ESPN, Wikipedia, PFF. They all actually use kind of the same article because when I read all of them, they're all kind of like the same and they use the same examples and all. It's ridiculous, man. Let me go back up. Let me see. As much as TD likes to say QB should be replaced every 5 years, coming across great to elite talent at the position is difficult by itself. Now, Don Wayne, I don't say that QB should be replaced every 5 years. I say that the QB should be replaced if they're going to wreck your salary cap. Like you really have to be smart about this game. Let me put it like this. I mean, at what point is proof enough, right? So Lamar Jackson keeps losing in the first round. Say for the next 2 years, he's having MVP seasons, but losing in the first round. Then he gets his big money. And for the next 5 years, the team barely even makes the playoffs. Or even if they make the playoffs, they keep losing, right? Russell Wilson has already proved this. And he got a whole nother deal after that. So Russell Wilson's already proved it. So I just gave you on Lamar Jackson scenario. And Russell Wilson's already proved it. Now, Deshaun Watson, say that he continues to play exceptionally well for the Houston Texans, but they keep getting the same results and can't get out of the first round. And then he gets his big deal, and it's the same thing for the next 5 years. That's the third guy. Patrick Mahomes on his rookie deal wins the Super Bowl. And then say he gets his money, and they never do it again, just like Russell Wilson. Just like Russell Wilson, that's 5 guys. Dak Prescott gets his money, and they aren't any better for the next 5 years. That's 6 guys. But say all 6 of those guys prove to you that they don't win after they get their money. They don't win after they get their money. Do we care then? Or is it a case of, well, it is what it is, but you still got to keep your guy? Like, at what point do we say giving them that much of the salary cap will wreck your team salary cap? Shout out to Gio Cabrera saying, what's up, fans up? 19-0, how's life and family? Beautiful. And I love the prediction. That's what I'm talking about, positivity, baby. But I'm asking y'all, so at that point, if it happens, do we finally start to be a student of the NFL and say, wow, this is a trend? Because we already saw this in the last generation of players that came in. Now this is the new wave, and it's happening to them too. Is it really worth it signing these big-time name quarterbacks on these big deals? At what point do we learn a lesson from it? At what point do we learn the lessons for? Because if RG3, Cam Newton, and Kaepernick, Russell Wilson, all of these guys didn't teach us that, because they were the next thing. Remember, all of them on their rookie deals were the best thing ever. They were the best thing ever. They were supposed to be the future, this and that, and all of them, after they got their first deal, crumbled. Shout out to Daniel Taylor from Facebook. He said, TDPHINSTALK, what if they get franchise tag? Franchise tag ain't nothing but the franchise saying, oh my gosh, we dread paying you the big contract, but we got to take it a year at a time and figure this out. That's all that is. That's a team screaming out, oh my gosh, if we pay them this big money, we're in trouble. Use the franchise tag for now until we figure it out. That's all that is. That's what it is. But at what point do we say, this is true? You can't do that because it's going to ruin your team's salary cap and you'll never be able to have the talent around them to win it all. Because then you have to ask yourself, what's more important, to have a star quarterback or trying to win a Super Bowl? When is enough enough? When do we really become students of the NFL, of the game, and say, this is what it takes to win. This is what'll ruin you from winning. This is a trick. See, Patrick, you said with Russell Wilson, he makes them a contender every year. No, he doesn't. Not anymore. The word contender is a fallacy. It's just because you're able to make the playoffs every year. We want you to be able to actually win it. Russell Wilson is, every time he's going to be a first or second round out. He don't got the talent around him to go third round of Super Bowl anymore. He doesn't have it. See, we get caught up on, but that guy makes you a contender. He doesn't make you a contender. He makes you a guy that goes to the playoffs and lose. See, we think just because you go to the playoffs, you're a contender. Newsflash. What if you had one team that was the Chiefs last year and 31 teams that were just like the Bengals? Guess what? There are about to be 11 sorry Bengal teams that are contenders. Why? Because they made the playoffs. Because they made the playoffs. They're contenders. You think Seattle was going to beat the Chiefs? Seattle wouldn't have beat the Ravens. Hell, what's crazy is, who did Seattle lose to this year? Who did Seattle lose to in the playoffs, y'all? I forgot who it was. Who did they lose to in the playoffs? Y'all, somebody will remember. Who did Seattle lose to in the playoffs? Somebody said the 49ers. No, I don't think they played them. Oh, the Packers. Lost to the Packers. And let me ask you something. Who did Seattle lose to in the playoffs the year before? Who did they lose to in the playoffs the year before in the first round? Do y'all remember? Let me see if y'all remember. Because they're going to keep getting to the playoffs. Do y'all remember who they lost to in the year before in the playoffs? Well, let me make sure. Let me put Seattle Seahawks 2019 playoffs. I think I remember. I just wanted to make, the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys. Mason, it's not Seahawks hate. I'm giving y'all an example. I'm trying to show y'all a picture here. Because what y'all fail to remember is Russell Wilson, rookie contract, 13-3. Rookie contract, 12-4. Rookie contract, 11 and a half, and 3.5. Well, something like that, 11 and a half and 4.5. Rookie contract, got his deal a little bit early. Ain't had more than 11 wins since. Team ain't win more than 11 wins since. Ever since he got off his rookie contract, the team hasn't won more than 11 games since. This is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. So, if you understand the recent history of this NFL where the quarterback's pricing has skyrocketed off the charts, what you're supposed to do is this. Miami Dolphins, for example. You draft Tua Tagovailoa. He comes out rookie season, wins rookie of the year. He's balling out just like Mahomes did his first playing year. He comes out the second year. He's doing more of the same, MVP candidate, maybe even the MVP. Third year comes, you ready for Tua, but in the draft, with a high priority pick, grab you a quarterback. With the 23rd pick in the draft, get you the best quarterback available. Not so he could be the future, but for number one, let the kid know, hey, you're not guaranteed. We want to keep you here, but you're going to have to work with us. Number two, develop that young guy, because you might be shocked if he might have an opportunity to turn out just as good as Tua. And if he does turn out as good as Tua, you got his services to sit behind Tua for the next 2 years. And you let Tua continue to ball out. And then when Tua's up for his contract, you try to get you a respectable deal. We ain't asking him to Tom Brady it. But instead of $40 million a year, let's talk 32. You got to give us some kind of, we got to keep the, listen, quarterback no more than 15% of the salary cap. If the salary cap is $200 million, then that means it's $200 million. That just like that. That's what, how much, wait, hold on. Let me do my math right. Is that about $30 million? You go and say, our principles here in Miami is quarterbacks cannot get more than 15% if we want to keep a competitive roster. Now, here we are willing to offer you the max of our max, 15%. That might be $30 million. And we'll guarantee a lot of it. Will you take it? No, I want my 42. All right, man. Well, we appreciate your services. We're going to let that next kid step up. If he takes the $30 million to help the team, now we got a trade asset in that kid. We got a trade asset in him. And you utilize that and you go ahead and trade him. A former first round pick, untapped and build them up. You could probably get a first back from a team that really want a young, good quarterback. You probably can. And then when he's on his next 4 or 5 year deal, if it's a 5-year deal, 3 years in that, draft you another first round quarterback. Because when we get back to the bargaining table, we got to be in the same position. That's what you're supposed to do. It ain't to, well, we just gonna let you go, whatever. No, you gotta. If you do have to let that kid go, you have to put yourself in a position where your team can continue to succeed. They can continue to be good. They can continue to thrive. And you know that early. So say Tua comes in his 4th year and the negotiations aren't going well. The agent says, we don't care. We're not taking 15%. We want the 20%, no matter what, or you don't have a deal. Now you got to think in your head, okay, you know what? If we're winning right now, let's throw this kid in and let's bench Tua for a little bit. Let's throw him in the fire. Let's get him some real life experience. This is about to be our future. These are sacrifices you got to make, man, to save your team long term. Not putting your team in prison. Not putting your team in jail of a one player. And not winning anymore. You got to make smart decisions and prepare for the future. That whole Jordan Love pick behind Aaron Rodgers was a thing of beauty because they get it. It don't mean they're moving on from Aaron Rodgers, but it sure means that, hey, we have now the upper hand in all bargaining situations, not just bargaining situations. We're going to develop this young guy, and if things don't work for us and you on your next one, then we got a guy that we could turn to and move on. Can we not sacrifice Tua just yet? No. We're not sacrificing Tua. We want Tua to be our quarterback for the next 20 years. But we don't have to blind ourselves to Tua Tagovailoa by not making sure that we have contingency plans in place. We have to make sure we're not blinding ourselves. We got to have contingency plans in place. Because if you don't have a contingency plan, quarterbacks will have the right to not ask for 40. They don't want 20% of the cap. They want 23 now, 25%. Especially if they win a Super Bowl. What makes people think that a Patrick Mahomes who making less than $10 million a year, is probably like 5 last I saw. I got to go check it out. What makes people think that a Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs ain't going to give him $45 million if he asks for it? Yeah, they going to give it to him, and it's going to be their demise. People ignore me whenever I say this every single time. If you give Patrick Mahomes $45 million and he making 5 right now, $40 million, he's adding $40 million to the cap. Go through that roster and take away $40 million and tell me what you got. You think that team still is a Super Bowl contender? Take away $40 million off of that roster. You really think that they're a Super Bowl contender still? That's the point I keep making. Go purge $40 million from that roster. And if you tell me they're still a Super Bowl contender, you're not seeing it how I see it. I'm not going to call you wrong. You're just not seeing it the way that I see it. You can't do that, man. Do you understand the shock that does to a roster? The shock value that it provides? We go from paying a guy $5 million to $45 million and $40 million. You got to figure out how you can make up for that, because all these teams are already operating with maybe $10 million left on the cap. They don't have that room, so they got to make decisions. Seattle had to do it. People forget all these moves Seattle keep trying to make. Seattle keeps saying we trying to bring this player in, trying to bring that player in, but you don't see any of those deals getting done. People forgot when right before Russell Wilson signed his deal, and they waited to the very last day to sign his deal. Don't you remember they lost two defensive players that were literally Pro Bowlers? They lost both of them. No, they didn't lose them. They had to let them go because they had to make room for Russell Wilson's contract. Two of their best players on the team, they had to let go to clear cap. And the crazy thing is, those are the same type of players that could have got them the W. They could have got them to win this year. The same two type of impact players that makes differences in games like those playoff games. You see it crystal clear, TD, not even opinion. You spitting facts here. I'm trying to, but some people, they don't see this. It's a trap, y'all. Now, if you really want to get down to the real root cause of all of this, it's the sorry teams that are the root cause. Here's why. Say that Seattle said, you know what, Russ, you're a great quarterback, but we know at this point giving you that kind of money isn't going to do us any justice. You're just going to keep winning games, but it's not going to matter in the playoffs. You're not going to win the big one. We can't afford to win the big one. Other teams with these rookie quarterbacks, they have so many more weapons on their roster, but we don't have that luxury because we don't have a rookie quarterback. We're going to let you go ahead and be free. We will release you tomorrow. Russell Wilson, okay, whatever. Soon as he's released, he could put out a statement. If you're not giving me, hypothetically, because what y'all got to understand, the 36 million he got from Seattle was a discount. He said, if you don't do it now, I'm not giving a discount if I hit the market. If you don't do it now, that was the ultimatum he gave them. If you don't do it now, I'm not giving a discount when I hit the market. He said that. That was a discount. If Russell Wilson would have hit that market, his agent would have started out with 40 million. 40 mil. This was before we were talking 40 mil, y'all. His agent would have said 40 mil, and guess what? One of the sorriest teams in the league would have said, I got the, do you need me to drive you to the bank so you can cash this check? One of the sorriest teams in the league, because they're not going to sign him to win. They're going to sign him to sell tickets. They're going to sign him to pay tickets. And let me say something. Patrick Saramago just said, get paid your worth. Let me get this clear. In my opinion, no quarterback's worth $35, $40 million. No quarterback's worth that. There are some defensive players that are literally so impactful in a game. But you mean to tell me a quarterback is worth $25 million more than them? They're not worth 35 million. The sorry team's making them look like they worth it, because that's the problem. They know that some stupid team out there who hasn't won still won't win. They're going to do it to sell tickets, because any one of those sorry markets will be lifted overnight. You add Russell Wilson, just the hype behind it. Oh, we got Russell Wilson. Our future is here now. Shake Money says, sadly, like Miami did with Sue. Point exactly. Good example. Just like we did with Ndamukong Suh. The problem is quarterbacks' values have shot up because the demand for them shot up. The demand for them shot up. because so many of them came into this league being trash, like busting out. They're not worth that though, but they know they can get that. Imagine Patrick Mahomes telling the Chiefs, I want $52 million a year. And they're like, hold on, man. We were willing to give you 40, but are you serious? Yes, I'm serious. I want 52. What if the Chiefs said, man, we love you, but we can't do it? He hit the market. Is there a team out there that'll give him $52 million a year? Y'all let me know in the comment section. Is there a team out there that would give him $52 million a year? Please let me know right now in the comment section. Is there a team out there that would give him $52 million a year? Yes. Yep. I'm reading y'all comments. Yes. Yep. Yep. Pats. Dang, why was my rule timed out? Oh, I don't know why my rule was timed out. I can look it up. Let me see. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. And make sure we're not timing out people for nothing. But everybody says yes. There is a team that'll give him $52 million. Now let's take it a step further. If he told the Chiefs, I want $60 million, and they said no, and he hit the market, is there a team that would give him $60 million? Put it in the comment section. 60 no, 60 yes. Not what you would do, but is there a team out there that would do it? 60 yes, 60 no. Put it in the comment section. 60 yes, 60 no. Yes, yes, no, yep, yes, no, yes, no. You see, so now we getting a few no's, but we still getting yeses. So what I need some of y'all to understand is this. At some point, you have to evaluate for yourself what is the max you would give a quarterback. So we can't knock a team that says, I'm not giving him 33. Yeah, but that's the going price now. Yeah, but if Mahomes get 52, you want to give your quarterback 50-something? Because let Mahomes get 52. What do you think the next market of quarterbacks going to be talking? Y'all better be shaking in your pants if Mahomes was to get 52. You think, listen, you think a Tua Tagovailoa ain't going to go for bank if he balling out? If I was the quarterback, when you talking about $52 million a year, forget winning Super Bowls. See, the problem is we're giving these quarterbacks a level of money where they would be foolish to care about Super Bowls now. Let me say that again. We're giving these quarterbacks so much money now that why would they care about winning Super Bowls? Every year they win a Super Bowl worth $35 million. They could go 1-15. I still won the Super Bowl. I made $35 million this year. That's the problem. That's the freaking problem. They could go 1-15. But they go home every night still willing like they hoisting the Lombardi. It's just in a form of a check. Wilson getting like 35 or 36 million. And when we say, yeah, 60 is too much, the truth is 35 is too much. The highest paid quarterback in the league should probably be making somewhere about $30 million a year right now. The highest paid quarterback right now in this league should be making $30 million. That's what the highest paid quarterback should be making right now. One moment, guys. Your best of the best quarterbacks right now should be making $29 and $30 million a year. 28, 29, 30. That's what it should be right now. I'm talking about your top of the line quarterbacks. And they got to be veterans because rookies on rookie deals. Your average quarterback should be making 22, 23, 24 million right now. Your below average quarterback should be making 17, 18, 19. It's that simple, man. But the reason why it doesn't exist anymore, because that trash team would be willing to give any good quarterback that can sell them seats the 30 million plus another 25% on top of that. And then they hold the good teams hostage that know they shouldn't be paying that kind of money, but now they're being held hostage. This fan base would go berserk if I let the Bengals steal this franchise quarterback from us. This fan base would go berserk because I didn't want to give the extra $6-7 million a year. It's already difficult enough if you were paying them $30 million. It's already difficult enough. Let me give y'all an example. Tennessee is a great example to use on this. Last year, they went to the AFC Championship game. What could have helped that team more? About 2 more really good defensive pieces. They were 2 really good defensive pieces away from possibly going to the Super Bowl. 2 good defensive pieces away. That's all that team was. 2 good defensive pieces away, if you ask me. Why couldn't they pay those 2? Why couldn't they pay it? Well, part of it, some of their defensive players got hurt early in the season. Even Cam Wake went out after game 1 or something like that. But you were paying 2 quarterbacks. Mariota getting $20-something million, like 26 or something like that million. Tannehill was getting his 7 or whatever it was. They were running over $30 million at the quarterback position. Now Tannehill got his new deal. Mariota is gone. They saving about $6 million. But imagine if Tannehill was getting $35 million a year. Imagine if they had Tannehill for 2 seasons and he did what he did. He's just as valuable as Lamar Jackson at that point. If they had him for 2 seasons and he did the same thing twice, he could have been asking for 30-something million, 35, 36. He could have. You think that was going to make their team better? No. Not at all. Everybody want to watch football and ignore the salary cap. There's also a game in that, ladies and gentlemen. The salary cap is a part of the NFL game. You have to master that thing. You got to be able to find players with good deals and everything. That's why certain players on our roster, I'm so happy that we were able to get good talent on 2-year and 3-year deals instead of 4 and 5 in some cases. It's that simple. That simple, man. Rashad Brown said they lost the game because the run game got stuffed. But guess what? If Tennessee had those two more defensive players, the Chiefs' run game would have got stuffed too. And Mahomes did not have the best of games in that game. Sharif said at TD, only 30 days until first snap. Oh, my gosh. I know, man. 30 days. Well, hopefully, right? Hopefully. Shout out to the Mod Squad. Shout out to Chef Jew. I hope you're enjoying your birthday week, man. Brocktober. I miss Pennington. Mariota is why. Yep. But guys, we got to start paying attention to this stuff. So I think that the solution to all these problems is bring your next guy in, right? See, Baltimore should have they need to bring their guy in next offseason. Baltimore needs to bring another guy in next offseason. Draft them a high-profile quarterback. Draft them a quarterback. Doesn't mean you're going to roll with them, but you got to do it. Lamar Jackson, league MVP. Patrick Mahomes, they should have drafted somebody this year. The Chiefs should have drafted somebody this year. They should have drafted somebody this year. They should have brought in a guy like Jalen Hurts or somebody. They should have. And you know what? The Chiefs, I just think it's so irresponsible for them to have not done that. They could have set the precedent and started to transform this league. They could have drafted a guy early and everybody's like, whoa, you use your first pick on a quarterback? What's going on? What's going on, Chiefs? Well, this is a business and we have to prepare for the future. We understand. They could literally make a statement and change everybody's thought process the right way. They could have came out and said, Patrick Mahomes is an exceptional talent and no one wants to lose. But we're in the business of winning Super Bowls. And we know that the talent that he brings to this game could end up being non-affordable. And if it does come to that, we have to also make sure we prepare for our future. Let's be clear. We want Patrick Mahomes to be here for the next 50 years if we can. But we also have to prepare for our future just in case things don't work out in that manner. Do you know the shockwaves and ripple effect that'll send through the league? And then they end it with a statement like, because if it gets too expensive, we'll let one of the ignorant teams do that to their salary cap. We're willing to pay a good price to keep them, but if it gets outrageous, we're going to let one of those teams that want to continue to lose pay that kind of money. Do you know the shockwaves that are sent through the league? And that's how you're supposed to do it. And you know what, Alex? You're making a great point because that's another thing people don't think about. When you're paying a quarterback that kind of money, you're one injury away from disaster. One injury away from disaster. But you come out, you set that precedent. The Chiefs had the prime opportunity to even, disrespect the trash teams in that comment. If one of these teams that always lose and want to continue to lose wants to pay a ridiculous amount, then that's even better for us. Now you got Mahomes that's still going to come out as a young, hungry kid and ball out because you want to keep his status up. But teams around the league are going to, and you know what? Reporters going to get behind it. You know why? Because they all know it's the truth. They just don't like talking about it. Quarterbacks wreck your roster. These salaries they get now wreck your roster. They wreck your roster. wrecking your roster. So at the end of the day, man, listen, the Chiefs could have really set that precedent and dialed it back for all these teams and made them realize, man, you know what? He's right. He's right. I would have even been cocky if I was the Chiefs. We got to start bringing these quarterback salaries down a little bit. I would have been cocky with it and said stuff like that. It's getting outrageous. It ain't doing nothing but ruining teams. Right now, we're benefiting from Mahomes' play, but we're also benefiting from the fact that we're only paying them $5 million a year because we're able to put so much more talent around him as well. And that's what you're supposed to do for your quarterback. You're supposed to surround them with talent and make life a lot easier for them. But how can you do that if you're giving them a large percent of the salary cap and now you're picking and choosing how you're supposed to? No, it don't work that way. They had a prime team that should have came out and said something like that, man. They would have had this league on notice because you had the masses listening. You had the man. You just won a Super Bowl. What you say goes. What you say makes sense. You just won a Super Bowl. And that would have worked in their favor at negotiation time. Keep the narrative. Oh, we definitely hope that Patrick wants to be a Chief for life, and we're willing to pay him a great salary. But, you know, the way things are going in this league now, you know, what people think is a great salary is off the charts, and that's not what we're going to do. We can't ruin our team like that. We can't ruin our team like that. And then tell him, you know, well, I mean, he has every right to go get every penny that he can get out there. I don't blame if he wanted to leave and go get $40 million, you know, I think that he should, you know, if that's what it's about for him. And you throw that number $40 million out. That's basically telling the rest of the world we ain't giving $40 million, but you promote the fact that he wants to, if he wants to, you know, if he wants to go out there and get $40 million a year. Like everybody's throwing these numbers out, 40 million, 45 million. If he wants to do that, I would recommend he goes and does it. You know, you can't replace that kind of salary. If some crazy team want to take that chance and put all that kind of money into one player, man, I would do it myself. I would run and go sign with that team. You know, but we still got to do what's best for the Chiefs. As the general manager, we got to do what's best for this team long term. And history has shown us that paying quarterbacks crazy buku amounts of money like that isn't going to help your team win the Super Bowls that we just won. We need more of these, and we can't do that paying a guy $40 million. So we haven't had those discussions with him yet. We will. Hopefully it works out for both of our favors. But, you know, at the end of the day, this is a business, and I encourage my young quarterback to go get every penny he can. If that's what's important to him. But, you know, if he wants to win Super Bowls, then, you know, it'll be a great conversation to see how we can work that. You got it, man. They didn't use this whole situation the right way. They did not use the situation the right way. Somebody just said, and we signed Mahomes for $40 million and our team already set. No, bro. Rashad, think about bringing Mahomes in for $40 million right now. You just added, because we're not going to count the quarterbacks on salary now, because say all of them are gone and you brought them in for $40 million. Now you've officially added about $28 million to our cap. That means this year alone, we're negative $8 million, because I think we got $20 million right now. You brought in Mahomes, you're negative $8 million. So you can go ahead and look through the roster and see how you want to purge that $8 million. See how you want to purge the $8 million. And when you're talking about Super Bowls going up against the best teams, our lack of safety help is an issue. And then you also have to understand we're one of the youngest teams in the league. Not this offseason coming, but the offseason after that, there's quite a few players on our team that's going to be looking up to, and is it time for me to get my new deal? See, we forget about that. We could bring in Mahomes right now. And don't get me wrong, we might have a shot. But after this year, you got about 4 or 5 guys that were rookies a few years ago that's asking you for some money. Albert Wilson's whole play ball out and we give you a new deal, that's out the window. Jakeem Grant, we can't. Well, not Jakeem Grant, but it's certain players we can't give you that additional money. Huh? Oh, here you go. We can't give you that additional money. There are people, Godchild getting a new deal? How is that going to happen? And then whenever all these rookies and stuff from last year and 3 years from now, it really ain't going to happen. All these guys up for a contract, it's really not going to happen. It's really not going to happen. That's what we have to understand. Right now, we're benefiting from having one of the youngest teams in the league, and we have probably one of the largest group of players on a very low salary because of their tenure in the league on rookie deals. Yeah, we brought in free agents and stuff, but we are young to the core. We are young. So we might have a 1 year window to actually where that 40 million won't crush us. We got a 1 year window where let's go for it. We got talent and everything. Let's do it now. I'm hoping Tua is that guy. And it's cheaper. And we could put a little bit more around him because of how much he's going to be making over the next few years. See, with Tua for the next 4 years, we can afford to re-sign some players. We can afford to still bring in some more free agents. We can afford to bring in more free agents. That's what it's going to be about, man. You bring in Mahomes right now, I don't even think we'll be able to afford our draft picks next year. And don't forget 2 of them first rounders. 2 of them first rounders. But that's the interesting one, man. It's interesting. These are the things you got to think about. What's up, Miles? What's up, homie? Trade him for a huge ransom. To a safety release pass. Safety release pass. Who y'all talk about trade for a ransom? Who y'all want to trade for a ransom? I'm not down for no more free agents, all draft picks. I'm with you, Rashad, but they got to have a quick turnaround to make it count. That's a part of it. They have to have a quick turnaround to make it count. They have to. They can't just sit there and trying to be better and better over time. Shout out to Robert Lee Jones from Facebook. I love when I see our Facebook family in the building, y'all. Shout out to Robert Lee Jones, man. Welcome. Trade him for a huge ransom. Tua safety, please. Pass. I'm not down for no more free. Oh, I already read all that. The question is, TD Fans Talk, which free agents will join the Miami Dolphins brotherhood? Which free agents will join the Dolphins brotherhood? You mean right now or next year? I mean, I'm trying to understand that. Man, hopefully Tua accepts $19 million a year after the rookie contract. No, man. The only way he accepts something like that is if he has a Tannehill type start to his career. Progressing over time from some of his flaws, and you see the improvement, and it's worth reinvesting again. That's the only way that happens. And it may not even happen then. Let me tell you why. Even if he has a Tannehill type start where it isn't all miraculous, but you see the attributes, he still could get big money out there. You know why? Because people are going to say, it's the Miami Dolphins. They did the same thing with Tannehill, and look what he turned out to be for another team. Take that chance on Tua. He was better than Tannehill coming out. This is your shot. And another team going to outbid us on that. So Daniel Taylor said next year. I hate to just brush your question off, Daniel, but I say this every year when people ask that. I can't tell you which free agents coming to Miami next year because Nine times out of 10, the ones that I name is going to end up re-signing with their team. They're going to end up re-signing with their team. The only teams that'll probably have a high purge rate are the Saints and the who is it? Because I was looking at salary caps. There's two teams in the negative right now on salary cap. But those are the teams that you'll have a high probability of getting some of those players. But everybody else in the league, I mean, this guy's a free agent next year. And we all excited. Maybe we got a shot. And right before the league year starts, they re-signed with their team. So it's hard to talk. I only talk about who's going to come next year once we know the available unrestricted free agents. And we won't know that until next offseason. Y'all hit that like button on your way in the room. Cowboys aren't negative on cap. I didn't say Cowboys. All right. Let me see. So what you think, TD, about what Rip said, man? Hopefully Tua accept $19 million. He ain't accepting no $19 million, man. As a matter of fact, if this kid is balling out, I'm not asking him to take a $19 million contract. You respect the kid. You go ahead and you look at the salary cap, and if he's playing A1 football, you times whatever the salary cap is, put it in your calculator, times 0.15. Slide that paper over to him. Here's the number. We don't go anymore. We're giving you the max of what we would give a quarterback. I'm not taking that. All right, we got to prepare for the future. And hopefully we're smart enough to have already prepared for it. What would you pay Tua after a great 4 years? 15% of the salary cap. I mean, my answer don't change. What would you pay Tua if he won 4 Super Bowls in a row and 4 league MVPs in a row in his rookie contract? 15% of the salary cap. The answer don't change. My answer does not change. Stand for something or fall for anything. The answer doesn't change. What about this year, TD? You think we gonna get a safety during or before the season? See, a guy like Logan Ryan, I would love to bring in and play the safety position. Excuse me, or back up the I would like to bring in a guy like Logan Ryan, but he doesn't fit the profile of what we're looking for. Again, we haven't brought in any older veteran free agents. It doesn't fit the profile of what we're building. So that's a tough one. Jamal Adams, listen, I would try to make a real good solid offer. I'll make a good solid offer to try to bring Jamal Adams because he's the type of guy that we would have pursued in free agency if he hits free agency. We definitely would pursue it. Y'all realize, I mean, what we pay Rashad Jones $15 million a year. And half of his entire contract was on the bench, hurt. Walford, a guy who's 3-time Pro Bowler in a row. He would be a great guy to bring in, but again, that's another situation where he's 7 years into this league. Has his best years already passed him. We went after a whole bunch of guys that are no more than about 4, 5, 6 at max years in this league. What would you give for Jamal Adams? First of all, we would have to recognize that we'd already pay him. And what would I give for Jamal? I'll be honest with y'all. I would actually give a first-round pick. Now, I think you can get him cheaper because he requested the trade, but I would actually come off of a first-round pick. We have the assets. We have the assets to do it. And you feel a big hole. If you look at the holes we have on this team right now, safety, tight end. You may have more, but you don't know yet. But safety and tight end. Bringing Jamal Adams in, first of all, not only do you address that position without any question, without any doubt, but nobody's going to sit here and say the Miami Dolphins, listen, everybody, all that 8-8 stuff go thrown out the window. We should make the playoffs. No ifs, ands, or buts. We will literally have one of the best. Listen, if we ain't top 5 defense with Jamal Adams, I don't know what is. Byron Jones, Xavier Howard, Noah, Jamal Adams, and the depth that we have. Not even mentioning what we got in the box. All these first-round picks and then veterans, Ogba, Van Noy. All these guys, man. Shaq. Man, listen. I would give a first-round pick. I would literally give a first-round pick. Because at the end of the day, we robbed the Houston Texans. We weren't paying Laramie Tunsil $22 million a year. Do y'all know that? We were not paying Laramie Tunsil $22 million a year. That was not going to happen. And we avoided paying $22 million a year, and we got 2 firsts in a fifth or a second. Sorry. And we got 2 firsts in a second. We robbed them. So when you rob somebody like that, you got a little extra to, you know. Imagine not doing the Tunsil deal and trying to pay him $22 million a year. We would have no salary cap right now. Imagine trying to pay him $22 million a year and not having those assets. First of all, we don't have the asset in the first round. We wouldn't have that asset in the first round. This year or next year. We robbed the Texans. We escaped that big salary. Shout out to Finsanity in the comment section. What's up, girl? Good morning. Good morning. We would have got robbed, man. We got 2 firsts and a second, y'all. 2 firsts and a second. We got that little wiggle room. Give it Jamal Adams. Take this first, Gase. You're going to mess it up anyway. I would give a first. It's that simple. It's that simple. They stole Kenny from us. They didn't steal Kenny from us. Kenny wasn't in the long-term plan. Look at his age. It doesn't fit the profile of what they're doing with this roster. Kenny was not in the long-term plan. Truth be told, Kenny wasn't given the level of production. He had flashes in Houston, but that's not act like it was Pro Bowl worthy or nothing like that. With the money, a guy that makes $10, $11 million a year, he wasn't in our plans. He wouldn't fit in what we were trying to do. He just wasn't. Jamal Adams liked the Cowboys. Yeah, he gonna like anybody who's willing to pay him. Not only willing to pay him, but he wants to go to a contender. That's up to Flores to get a meeting with him and help him understand that we could be that team. Kenny didn't deserve Flores trying him, and Flores didn't deserve his lack of focus on the field and his lack of production. I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. See, we want to make it about one side of the issue. There's 2 sides here. Kenny has a case on what y'all saying, but Flores also has a case. We need better production on this field because I ain't seeing it. That simple. And Kenny didn't get us no second, man. Everybody want to automatically attribute that second to Kenny. Kenny ain't get us a second. We could have traded Kenny straight up and we would have got a 4th or 5th. If we traded Kenny Steele straight up, it would have been a 4th or 5th. Kenny was that extra bonus that got us closer to with that second. Because Tunsil would have been 2 firsts and like 2 firsts and a third. Kenny made it 2 firsts and a second. Hey, you might be right, Shake Money. Kenny probably only got us Davenport. Because we got a player back in that deal. Kenny got us a younger player who has upside. He's not Laramie Tunsil, but he does have upside. Doesn't coach value versatility? Therefore, doesn't Jamal Adams bring something extra to the table? Should he join the team? Absolutely, he should join the team. The man plays strong safety. He plays free safety. He plays corner. He can play the nickel. He can play it all. People don't even know about Jamal Adams. They say Jamal Adams one of the best in the league. But you don't know, man. This kid is true and true. A real football player. He's bona fide, certified. This is one of those first round picks that ain't even close to being a bust. Already made a first team All Pro and a second team All Pro. He ain't been in the league. He ain't even finished his rookie contract, y'all. The kid came in day one and said, I'm one of the best in the league. This is what you call the true opposite of a bust. Certified since a rookie. This kid is special, man. This is what you want on your roster. This is the type of player, man. Oh, my gosh. Jamal Adams, boy. He could be in any role on the field. That makes the disguise of the defense even more crazy. He could get down there in the nickel and be sending a nickel blitz and the linebacker slide out to guard that guy, and you never see it coming. You never see it coming. 6 sacks last year as a strong safety. I personally feel like he's an upgraded Rashad Jones and stays healthy. Man. People at LSU said he was the best leader they had seen. Man, it ain't no question, man. We have to keep the Houston pick and get into talks with our first team. Oh, man, y'all got me going this morning. I'm past my 8:30 hour, man. Time for me to go ahead and hang out with the kids, get their breakfast going, and do all that good stuff, man. Y'all got me going this morning, man. I'll see y'all later, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in to TD Fans Talk. Thank y'all. I appreciate it. This is the home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you want to do me a favor, make sure you hit that like button on your way out of the room. We always want to overshadow the dislikes that we have from Matt Burke, Adam Gase, Nick Saban, who else? What's his name? All the haters. Just put it like that. So I appreciate y'all love and support, man. I got to get out of here. Great conversation this morning. Thank y'all for waking up with TD in the morning. I'll see y'all soon. Love y'all. Peace. Y'all be blessed today, man. Do your thing.